Hey guys. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the perfect palette tag. If you watched my video before this, y'all know that I had a great day today because I didn't have to do anything, so I decided to make videos with you guys. So this is the perfect palette tag, and I don't know who set this up. I don't know. If you make videos, if you blog, I challenge you, I tag you now. But it's 10 like categories, and you pick your palettes. I'm gonna tell you this, it was very hard for me because some of my favorite palettes fit into more of these categories. So I tried to really expand it and try to give you guys, but I'm gonna talk a lot and break everything down. So anyway, the first category is best packaging. I know some people took that as maybe best for travel, but that's another category or whatever. My best packaging, hands down, goes to Urban Decay. Simply because I think they take time in it. Like, I know they have, like, a designer to just do the artwork for their packaging. I know it. And the two that I own is the electric palette. Look at this. And it corresponds to what's inside. The beautiful neon, cloudy type of... Here's the palette. And look. Yeah, that is... I think it's so cool. That's really going to catch your eye. You're going to know what palette that is when you reach for it, when you see it. I just think it's gorgeous. There are a lot of companies that make really pretty packaging, but Urban Decay, I know, does really well. And this is the Vice palette as well. I just talked about this in my favorites. That should be up before this. Yeah, and just look at it. Like, it takes a lot of, it catches fingerprints, but this whole Vice thing and the lime green, and it's a huge mirror. Urban Decay gives you huge mirrors, and I don't know, I just really like their packaging. It's sturdy, it's hard. I don't mind that. Some people do, but I don't mind the sturdy, hard, like, like you're paying all this money for something, you know, at least not let it feel so cheap. I don't know. Okay, the next category is best color payoff. This could have gone to a lot of people. Urban Decay, could have gone to Lorac. It could have gone to NYX. Nah, NYX doesn't do stuff good. But a lot of stuff that I have, it could have gone to. But I'm giving it to Morphe simply because, excuse me. Not only does this have amazing color payoff, but you don't have to pay a lot for it. This is the 35 palette of theirs, and I think it is gorgeous. I know I've been doing a lot of neutral stuff, but I'm a bright girl at heart, and it's easier, I feel as though, for a company to put out a nude palette or put out neutrals. To make a bright color that's super concentrated, that's not annoying or irritating, is, I think, a really good feat. And so this is the 35, and like I said, for cheap. So if you pay $30 for a shadow, for one shadow, or $60 for a palette, yeah, it better have good payoff. But to pay $13 for a palette and get, I'm gonna do a couple swatches, color payoff like this, to get that for $13, I don't see it. That's why I'm giving it to Morphe, because all of their shades are pigmented and just really, really fun and really, 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 really nice for the price. So they definitely get the best color payoff because, yeah, I love it. Okay, I'm trying to put them back as I go. How cool is that? The next category, and like I said, Lorac could have got color payoff too. Some of these are just really, you know. And yeah, most versatile, I'm giving it to the Lorac Mega Pro. The 1s and 2, the Pro 1 and 2 are great as well, but this one just gives you more colors. And versatile in a sense that you can get a very light, like your eyes but better type of look. You can go super, super smoky, or you can go a little bit, I don't want to say colorful, but a little bit color popping and eye catching. And you can do a lot. You can mix and match, make it neutral, make something. So I think this is a really good versatile palette. There's very few palettes that I have that are super, super bright and rainbow and then a neutral side in the same palette. usually doesn't happen, but I'm giving it to them because it is versatile and you can do light and angelic or dark and grungy or somewhere in between. So it is pretty versatile in that matter. You can have an all matte look. There are enough shades to do an all matte look, enough shades to do an all shimmer look. So I think that's great too, because some palettes only give you maybe 2 or 3 mattes. Like by this being an even number of each, you can get a complete look with either one. So that's why it's getting most versatile. It can get favorite. It can get everything in the daggone category. Y'all know how much I love it. The next is best for traveling. Have a few that are like that, depending on what your needs are for traveling and how you travel and how you pack. But mine is the Morphe. I was going to pick the Z palette because you can customize it. Like I was talking about in my favorites video about this, you can pick the shades that you want. You know what I'm saying? And just put them in. But the Z palette, it could get bumped. Those magnets could get loose. I don't know. You think about that. But Z palettes are great. But I picked the Morphe brush. Not specifically Morphe, but this type of palette. They have them bigger, they have them smaller, but the ones with the wells in it. Because I know some people don't like that because it's less space, but when you're traveling, I want my stuff to be as secure as possible. Yet, I also want to be able to customize. Of course, I can get another palette, but I'm saying you can just take the shades you want and leave the shades you don't. If you have individual pans, these hold MAC, Morphe, Coastal Scents, BH Cosmetics, all of those standard size, so you can just take what you want and it'll be secure. And you get a nice huge mirror. That's why I think this is the best for travel, because it's the most customizable. You only need to take what you need. Yeah, because while some of these palettes are great for travel, you may not need all those shades, but this you can take just what you need, and it's heavy enough to protect them. Big mirror. What else could you ask for? That's best for travel for me. The next category is biggest regret. It took me a while. I rarely to never regret a palette. I'm addicted to eyeshadow palettes. I love palettes. But when I really looked through my collection, I decided that the one that I can do without is the 88 matte palette from BH Cosmetics for a few reasons. I like BH Cosmetics, but one, this broke instantly. Like, it didn't come broke, but like the first week of me using it, it fell not from a far distance and it broke. Well, it fell pretty far though. So it's like, dang, I just got it. Also, why it's another regret is the shades are pretty, but it's not all matte. It says 88 matte. It's not all matte. Now, I have the 120 second edition, if I'm not mistaken, and that has mattes and shimmers in it. I could have just used that. This is not all matte at all. It has shimmers and satins in here. So, I don't know why they would call it a 88 matte palette, and it's not all matte. Yeah, and I pretty much never use it now because I have so many matte palettes and so many other shadows. I still use my other BH Cosmetics. I mean, I'll keep it because the shades are pretty, but it's just like, it's not on matte. Don't lie to me, you know? So, yeah. I use this on other people because it's a mixture, but I don't know. They lied to me. The next category is best color names. Here we go. I know a lot of people would give this to Urban Decay because they are very creative with their names. But I'm going to tell you why I'm giving it to Lorac. Because the names are the names of actual colors. Because I don't know why this bothers me, but the names are fun from all these other places and just random color and random names like Grandma's House, like whatever. But Lorac, it's just the Pro 1 and 2. It doesn't matter which ones. But they name their shades what they are. That's great for me. Because if you're watching this tutorial and if you don't have this palette, if I'm naming colors, you can know what family it's in. Granted, if you see cool gray and you're like, I'm looking for a dupe for cool gray, you can't go in the store and look for a cool gray and it'll be the exact dupe. But you know what you're kind of looking for, and you know what kind of color it is. And the fact that they have this palette, the 2, the 1, and the Mega, and is able to do this and name colors the exact, not exact color, but the color that it is, I like that. I appreciate that. Especially with, if you get larger palettes, sometimes they don't have names, but the fact that they're naming each one of their shades and it's a color. Okay, we got buff, light brown, cool gray, and even if it's not a color, like beige, snow, that's a color. But like chrome and cocoa and nectar, you know what kind of color that is gonna be. Like if I told you, yeah, I used the color cocoa yesterday, you're gonna know it's a brown. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, with Urban Decay and what's the other one? BH Cosmetics does that too. Coastal Scents does that too. Not all of their shades are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it's room, you can name it anything. So I admire this because it's more work for this, because you got to really think, because there's only a limited amount of colors versus, you know, you can name things bookshelf and pick up sticks and flip flop. The hell kind of color is flip flop? Yeah, garnet, slate, deep purple, gold, champagne. You get my thing. I think, I don't know, I just like that. I like to keep it simple, and I like, so you guys can know what colors. That's why they got it. All right. The next category is least used. I have believe it or not, I have a lot that could be least used because I have so many, you know what I'm saying? But the least used that, is this Sonia Kashuk palette. And this is the Ion Glamour. I got this from Target for $9.99. And the reason why this stood out to me as least used, these colors are very pretty, but I don't view it as a complete palette. Like, I like to use, if the point for me of using a palette is so I don't have to grab anything else. There's no, like, transition color in here, or a nice neutral color, or a black. You know what I'm saying? To make this complete. And so it's like, I look at this and I keep it in my drawer near me and I look at it and they're so pretty. Don't get me wrong. She's giving you pigment, but it's just like, it's not a complete palette. So I would say this is one of my least used because I want to use it, but it's just like, I don't want to have to reach for other shades to pull your palette together and to make your palette work for me. I will do that, you know, and I'll keep it because it's very pretty. But it's just, that's another reason why I don't use it because it's like, it's not complete to me. That's what that is. The next category is, why do I have that? I don't know. The next category is most used. And you guys know, it can go to Lorac, it can go to, what was I going to say? Lorac, it can go to Urban Decay right now. But actually, where it's going, because I've been using this a lot, not on camera, so it's kind of like unbelievable to you guys, is the Morphe 35N. And remember, I was just talking about the Sonia Kashuk one and how I have to get a palette to pull your palette together. When I have to do that, I'm going for this. This is a 35 all matte neutral palette. And it hasn't been most used, let's say, this past month, but it is one of my most used. And Lorac is right behind it, but I didn't want to pick Lorac for all of them. But this is a great palette for my neutral looks. It has the black in there, it has a brown in there, it has a highlight shade. If I gotta use this to pull another type of palette together, I'm digging for this because it has all those neutral transition colors that I need. So it is it's a staple in my collection because it's a helper palette. I rarely use this on its own just for a complete look. I have, but it is most used because it is a helper palette and it helps bring other colors together. This is a matte neutral palette and it is one of my most used. I just never show you guys, and because I've gotten so many newer palettes, I've been using those, but I reach for this a lot. And finally, the last category is oh no, I'm lying. I missed one. That's most used. Most loved. I don't know where I was at, y'all. Most loved, can you guess? Okay, well, I have two. The Urban Decay Electric and the Lorac Pro 1. The Lorac Pro 1, not the Mega. The 1. Why the 1? Because I love it more than the Mega. And I am a bright-eyed girl at heart. And this is the best thing that I could have ever bought. Like I said, Morphe has bright shades. All of them have bright shades. But these neon, this just screams Candace. And this is just what I love. Like, yeah. It is the bomb. And, of course, the Lorac. This is the first one. And this is the first one I bought. And it's just my favorite. I'm not going to talk about them anymore because you guys know. You guys already know. But those are my most loved among all of the other ones that I love. And finally, the stuff on my hands. The last category is Desert Island. If I was stuck on a desert island, what would I bring? Well, if I was stuck on a desert island, there are a lot more priorities than makeup. But for the sake of this, it would be the BH Cosmetic 120 second edition palette because it has everything I'm going to need. It has a neutral section. It has a smoky section. It has every color of the rainbow, bright matte, shimmer matte. I mean, bright matte, bright shimmer, everything. Satins, everything. It is a 2-layer palette. It has every color a girl could ever need when doing their makeup. So yeah, if you're not collecting like I am, or, you know, you just want a big palette to house everything, these on the website are always like less than $20. And they have like 5 editions of it. I would recommend this because it has everything you would need. The color payoff is great. Some are way better than others, but all of them are genuinely decent. Yeah, but that is the 120 from BH Cosmetics. At one point in time, I wanted to get all 5. When they have a good sale, when they're like $9, I may get them. But anyway, that is the perfect palette tag. I hope you guys liked it. I try not to make every answer be Lorac, but they all fit. You see what I'm saying? Like your most used, your desert island, your most loved. Like if you use it the most, then you love it the most. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, forgive me if it was kind of boring, but it was like some of the questions overlapped and it was hard to try to pick a different answer because maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. I love you all and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.